live for Stedman, but you know that Stedman has for many decades been the butt of jokes.
Yeah, because of gender rules.
Yes.
People feel like because she's Oprah Winfrey, who did y'all want her to be with, Barack Obama? That doesn't make sense, guys. I mean, I feel like that's the weird thing about powerful women, what we're left with. So I'm supposed to find love, but he's got to have a certain amount of money, and then, but at the same time, I got to still be like, guys, what's going on here? Why am I? Nobody cares when a man finds his woman under a bridge. No one cares.
No one
cares. And I frankly don't care if that's who you love. That's who you love. Why do we have to deal with that?
Yes.
That to me makes no sense. I ain't never look. My daddy told me a man needs to treat you right. He needs to handle and service you in whatever way you need service. Let me tell you one thing that Keke don't need:
money.
From nobody. Now, if you want to give a little something and get my nails done, something cute,
but
I'm fine. Nobody cares.
Okay, so basically, the caption says Keke Palmer defends dating men who don't make as much as her. Nobody cares when a man finds his woman under a bridge. So listen, you know, Keke has some stuff with her, but every now and again she does say something that makes sense, you know, and it makes sense when men are out here looking for. Because listen, it's men who are always settling. It's interesting that women always like to talk about they won't settle. When they make a little money, they want to settle. But you're still asking a man to settle when you are looking for a man who makes way more money than you. So you're still asking men to settle because you still want a man to provide 100% of the time. When women make money, they still want traditional men. When men make the money, which they've always been looked to and expected to make the money, they still have to be the sole provider. Women don't want to put anything in. You don't want to put anything in if y'all working together, if y'all both average together. They're saying they don't want to go 50-50. If the man makes way more than you don't want to even cook and clean and take care of the household. You don't even want to do that. You just want him to pay. So it's delusional on every angle. Like, you don't want to do anything as women. These women have really adopted this mentality that they don't have to do shit. Like, they could just be, you know, they want a soft girl life. They really don't want to contribute anything when it comes to a man being involved. But as long as they're by themselves, they're going to pay all their bills. They'd rather pay all their bills than work with a man. Like, that's crazy. But then turn around and complain about they tired of having to pay all the bills. So you can't have it your way all the time, women. And this is why they're out here suffering by themselves, because it's just too much. I think what Keke Palmer is saying makes plenty of sense, because it's like, hey, men, you know, will find a woman at McDonald's if she's attractive enough and he likes her and she's cooperative. He don't care, because the expectation is always on him to provide for her anyway. So what they're expected to do has always been the same. So they find a woman, they don't care where they find her, as long as she's the right woman for them. But now women are making a little money, and this all has started because back in the day when these women weren't trying to be entrepreneurs and do all this stuff, they were looking for a provider man. The younger women were going after older men who were more stable, who had good jobs, as opposed to the men who were in their age range. They were looking for older men. Why? Because they're more stable. They got a car, they got an apartment, and they got a job. So younger women were always going after stability. You know what I'm saying? So you wasn't, you know, they weren't saying they weren't selling him then. You always wanted a man who had more than what you had. And they still want that now, but now they make money. So, but they don't want to contribute the money. You don't want to do anything fun. You don't want to bridge everything together. You just still want a fully traditional man, but y'all don't want to be traditional women. I think if for a man who wants a traditional woman and if he met and got a traditional woman, I don't think he mind, like the old days. He wouldn't mind paying all the bills and doing all of that for her because she's what he wants. But these women don't want to be what a man want them to be, but they want you to be everything and more for them. That's the disconnect. See, Urban says, heck, 5-10 years ago, they wasn't saying narcissist, toxic, etc. And repeating whatever the media trend is, but can't pick up a book to seek knowledge. Exactly. Right. It's the echo chamber of the Bonnet Crew society. They're just listening to what everybody else is saying and they're just repeating it. They don't know what they're talking about. It's just where we are, and it's not helping them.